Recently, Joel Embiid has been putting up big numbers, and he's been flirting with the question, is he back? And yesterday was a big step in that direction because it was a blast in the past performance. Simply when Joel Embiid was on the court, the Sixers were just destroying and winning his minutes. They won his minutes by 21 points. On top of that, he played 46 minutes, more than Tyrese Maxey. Plus, Houston is a really physical team, and at times, post-injury, he struggled against that type of competition. Here he screens for Tyrese Maxey, now he's got a smaller Amen Thompson on him. And we know, in this spot, he likes his finesse game. His mid-range has not left him whatsoever, but here, early on, he made the decision, I'm playing bully ball. I'm putting you under the basket. Either I'm getting a foul call or it's a free two. And it turns into free throws. And the honest truth about this type of play is his body just can't physically handle it consistently. And I think earlier this season, he was scared of accepting contact like this. And throughout a physical game, you saw him make nimble moves like this. He's at his best being decisive, making quick moves. Beating Tari Eason off the dribble now? How? And then last but not least, a half spin back the other way in 0.5 seconds. His ability to get shots close to the basket was really encouraging. He was living at the foul line, but he was also living in the restricted area. 8 attempts, and he was 6 of 8 from the field. Since returning from injury, this has been an issue. 4.8 shots per game attempted in the restricted area the past 2 seasons. 62%. That's 34th percentile. Flashback to 2 seasons ago, 23-24 season, 6.3 attempts in the restricted area at 69.9%, basically 70%. Another obvious area he's been struggling with is rebounding, but I thought yesterday he was more engaged than ever before in that category. The Sixers had a 73.3 defensive rebounding percentage with him on the court. Meanwhile, with him off the court, 57.1%. The same can be said about his defensive impact. More players are willing to challenge him at the rim. That was not a thing during his prime, but yesterday he was effective defensively. 109.3 defensive rating with him on the court. Meanwhile, with him off the court, 175 defensive rating. Let's start out with a rebounding highlight first. So this is a situation where I believe in past games he would not go this hard for a rebound. Also, you got to keep in mind he's going up against Amen Thompson who can jump out of the gym. Yes, Embiid is bigger and taller, but at this point in his career, he barely jumps off the ground. So seeing him come up with this, forcing the refs to call a foul, it's very encouraging. But also, I think as a teammate, you got to get hype from that. Everyone on the Sixers knows his knees are basically cooked. So if he's willing to do that while playing 40 plus minutes, it makes you want to try harder. And now in the fourth quarter, his legs got to be feeling like jello. It's a tie game, arguably the biggest possession in the game right now. First, he forces Reed Sheppard to miss this layup, and then a couple seconds later, he's jumping off the ground again. That's something that's been extremely difficult for him. We've seen him get dunked on over the course of the season. But get this, it goes back to the Rockets, so they reset, and a couple seconds later, he's on the perimeter. He's not just in drop coverage, he's extending up to force Kevin Durant to pick up his dribble in a very tough spot. The Sixers' coverage on Kevin Durant in the second half in the pick and roll was very aggressive. And at times, Joel Embiid was stuck on an island. He just wasn't strictly playing drop coverage. He was so engaged and giving so much effort defensively. I just don't think his body is capable of holding up if he does this every single game. But hopefully, it's capable of holding up when he needs to do this when it matters most. That's the goal, I think. And yes, at times this year, he's been a layup line. Other teams are killing them on the offensive glass because he can't really get off the ground. Despite that, he's still shown in stretches that he's a dominant force because he's big and large, and a lot of players don't want to challenge him consistently. I mean, just take a look at this stat. When Joel Embiid is on the floor, opponents are shooting just 55% on shots within 6 feet of the hoop. This is better than the league best OKC Thunder, who allow 56.8% of opposing shots from that range to go in. The goal for the Sixers moving forward is staying out of rotation. And yesterday, late in that game, they really accomplished that. Now, one thing for me about Embiid moving forward this season is he can't really be the primary closer. By the time the fourth quarter comes up, you can just tell he doesn't have much stamina. And it's not because he's not in shape, it's just because his knees are pretty much cooked. It's out of his control, and I think yesterday you saw a nice script for the Sixers. Joel Embiid quarters 1 through 3 was cooking, really carrying the team offensively. Maxey was putting up numbers, but you didn't feel his impact until the last 5 minutes, and it kind of felt like Maxey was coasting. Because you see in his fourth quarter and overtime highlights, he's just way faster than everyone. And lately in the fourth quarter, Maxey's kind of been struggling finishing the job. He hasn't had that extra gear. And I don't know if it was on purpose, but I think yesterday Maxey was kind of just resting up because he knew Embiid had it, and also Kelly Oubre was on fire. But when he realized the rope was slipping away, Maxey kind of just said, I'm winning this game for the Sixers. Now, that doesn't mean Joel Embiid makes no impactful plays. We saw the defense at the end of the fourth quarter. But also, how about this game-tying shot? He sets an amazing screen on Tari Eason. And now Maxey gets a warm-up jump shot in the guts of the game. This is where I'm seeing more buy-in from Embiid. So in the month of December, he was averaging only 2.6 screen assists per game. In January, he's up to 4.4. For perspective, the leader in screen assists per game has been Yusuf Nurkic at 4.7. For total screen assists in the month of January, Joel Embiid is in the top 5. Basketball Index has him A- as a screening talent this season. That's one of my favorite additions to his game lately. He's just been a more active and effective screener. Last thing I want to go over, he's still one of the best mid-range shooters in the NBA. I mean, he had some crazy contested fadeaway jumpers yesterday. If you go to NBA.com, you filter players who have at least shot 100 mid-range jumpers. Joel Embiid is the third most efficient, shooting 49% as a mid-range shooter. Only behind Donovan Mitchell and Shea. Keep in mind, Joel Embiid takes very tough contested mid-range jumpers. The thing about Joel Embiid that you can't take away, no matter how injured he is, his touch in the mid-range is fantastic. I do wish it could expand to the three-point line. He's shooting 26% on the year, but it is what it is. Last year and the beginning of this year was the first time that Joel Embiid was on the court and the Sixers were consistently losing his minutes. But lately, slowly but surely, he's back to having a great impact. With him on the floor this season in 727 minutes plus 4.9 net rating. With him off the court, negative 0.7 net rating. The offense is significantly better with him on versus off, and defense pretty much the same. But this game against the Rockets showcases that he still has something left to give defensively and rebounding wise if his body can hold up. No matter what happens to Joel Embiid, you gotta give him credit for bouncing back. Because let's just be honest, his body's doing whatever it takes to keep him off the court. And he just keeps coming back and still putting up elite numbers and affecting winning basketball. That's all I got. Let me know your thoughts below.